Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sesh. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello, Smoke Sesh hotties, and welcome to the Smoke Sesh sleepover edition, you guys. Sorry for the new, if you're, a video watcher, sorry for the new environment. But I did take the time to go ahead and redo and revamp my apartment. Not my whole apartment, let's be real. My bedroom specifically. That actually is a new vlog up now if you want to watch it on YouTube at Hannah Marlene 444. Go check it out. Go give it a little love. But I don't know. I needed to switch up the energy. I needed to switch up the feng shui. I needed to kind of like vibe out a little bit. It's like if I'm gonna be laying in bed for hours on end, like let me at least catch a vibe. And I talk about this in the vlog, but I feel like I really haven't had like a cozy, comfortable, relaxing bedroom since I was like a child, because most of my 20s or like late teens were spent in dorms, first apartments, like obviously didn't have the funds or the wherewithal to, really settle down and get cozy and comfy. So I'm so glad I finally did. If you are curious on what I did or the full scope of things, go check that out in the vlog. But today we just have a little bit more of like a chill, girly hangout yap sesh, more so than usual, although that is quite honestly our usual vibe. I really just wanted to kind of like get vulnerable and comfy and cozy and have a little laugh and a little giggle with you guys. I've actually been quite busy recently. I just got back from Omaha. I'm not even kidding, like 15 minutes ago I just got out of the car. I spent couple days in Omaha visiting I know you're like, Nebraska, bitch, what the fuck's in Nebraska? I went to go visit my brother's family, my brother, my sister-in-law, my niece, my nephew, just spend some good old fashioned family time with them. And although it is absolutely and utterly exhausting, it is always nice to see them. Family can be tricky sometimes, but it's nice when we can get together and it feels normal and real, and what maybe I have been missing or craving a little bit more in my life. It's just a good reminder of how important it is to have people who care about you and how lucky I am to have them in my direct immediately a family. So that was really nice, but I had a nice and busy weekend of working and then waking up, going straight to Omaha, spending a few days there, just running around and playing with the kiddos. I honestly, and I've felt this way forever, but I love being around children. I do think I want to be a mom, although that can just be so incredibly challenging. And also, how blessed are we as women to be able to have that choice nowadays of, do I want to even have children? Is it the right fit for me? Is it not the right fit for me? That's something you could think about. Don't rush it. Don't worry about it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Relieve yourself of that pressure as a woman. That's something that men just never have to think about, really. And so when that, especially like now that I'm in my late 20s, it's something that's been a little bit more prevalent on my mind. And it's made me kind of panic a little bit because you start hearing things like time's ticking, biological clock, this and that. And it's like, God damn, like, I don't even know who I am. So I don't even know if I can have kids. But I think just being around my niece and nephew does really solidify that, like, the energy of children is so wonderful and beautiful and mystical. And even if I don't have children of my own, it is a blessing to be in their lives nonetheless. So we just spent hours on end outside catching bugs, catching monarch butterflies, catching bees, catching cicadas. It was so fun. Those kids are just like so hilarious and just like so enamored with life. It is a breath of fresh air, especially since I am spending most of my adult life, of course, around adults. But yeah, I'm a little exhausted. Those days are a bit crazy. Usually they started at like 6:30 a.m. and ended at like 11 p.m. So mama's running off. Not a whole lot of sleep here. It might get a little wild. It might get a little cuckoo crazy, I will say. But I feel like for the past couple weeks, I haven't been feeling as grounded as I would like. I've been feeling very airy, floating in the ether, just like, what am I doing? What's going on? And I feel like I'm slowly, one toe at a time, starting to ground myself in just like, okay, so this is funny. I went and saw my psychic this week. We can get straight into the sleepover vibes. Okay, let's talk about psychics. Let's talk about spirituality. Let's talk about signs from the universe. Whenever I'm having a hard time, it's so funny. I always book the same psychic that I just absolutely adore. She is someone that I greatly value, although I don't see her often. It's just like I love being around women, especially older women, who I'm like, I would love to be with you. I would love to be you. It's so important to have people in your life that you can like look at and admire. And if you don't have those people in your life, I mean, of course, that says one thing, but also like that is something that I think we should be going and seeking out. I think it's so important to do so. And she is just a spiritualist. She's just a woman who's done a lot in her life and is very connected to this earthly realm and very like intuitively driven, and I find that personally very, very inspiring. Like I would love to do even half of what she does, her full moon gatherings, new moon gatherings. But she does intuitive counseling. I say psychic because that's just like fun and silly. It really is actually therapy. Like, let me be honest, therapy mixed with spirituality, which I find works best for me. But she has her PhD in psychology, had done clinical therapy for like 20 plus years in like the army or something, in the military in some sort of way, and then was like, fuck this, and really leaned heavily into the spiritual side. And so every time I see her, I feel like I leave with questions answered, which is so, so nice, because I feel like as someone who questions myself a lot, I rarely find answers within myself. I need sometimes a little extra help to dig those answers out. And with her, she is just somebody I can't lie to, because I feel like I'm sitting across from an older version of myself, and by lying to her, I'm kind of like lying to myself still. And with how expensive these sessions are, it's like that's a fucking waste of time. But I went and saw her this past week because I've been going through what is best to be called growing pains. You know, I'm starting to understand why the 27 Club exists and why so many young individuals, because 27 is young, kind of go through these elaborately hard times. And it's something that is kind of like a turning point in your life. And I don't mean to scare you. I mean, you're going to go through growing pains at 7 years old. You're going to go through growing pains at 17. You're going to go through growing pains at 27. You're going to go through growing pains at 47. Like, it's just a part of life. So you do kind of have to accept the pain with the pleasure. But I went and saw her, and it was just so nice. It was so nice. She was very forward. She's very direct. I got a lot of answers. And one thing that really stuck with me that she talked about was, you need to follow your pleasure. Pleasure will always bring clarity. When you are suffering so much in life, and I find this to be a constant theme in my life, when I'm suffering so much, it's because I am putting myself aside in a way that feels like I'm abandoning myself. It feels like I'm abandoning my soul, my spirit, like I'm neglecting myself in some sort of way. And we can call that people pleasing. We can call that, not being egotistical, whatever you want to call it. But ultimately, it is kind of self-abandonment. Of course, you're going to have to show up for friends, show up for family, show up for people you love, whether you're tired, sad, whatever. You got to keep routine. But when it comes to self-abandonment is just not following your pleasure. And that seems a little hedonistic, because if you want to, take it and run with that idea, you're like, okay, well, I'm going to go do Molly, and I'm going to go to concerts, and I'm going to go to raves, and I'm going to indulge in all this bad food and all these, sexual pleasures. Like, okay, pleasure, you want to talk pleasure, let's get crazy with it. But that's not what she meant, obviously, because that's kind of the first place my head went. I was like, oh, pleasure, like, let's go full into it. No. Pleasure, leaning into your pleasure really just means leaning into what makes you feel good. And once she said that, it really just clicked. It's like, I really have not been leaning into my pleasure recently. I've been prioritizing other people. I've been not prioritizing myself. I've been not prioritizing things that I know are good for me, even though they're hard, like journaling, going to therapy, moving my body, eating healthily, planning ahead, like sticking to routine. Like, those do bring me pleasure, but it does take a little extra effort and work. And the main theme of it all was your pleasure will bring clarity. You have a lot of unanswered questions, unanswered things you're trying to figure out, things you're confused about. And you are confused about them because you're not following forward with what you want to do. You're not following forward with what feels good, with what feels right, with what feels aligned with your intuition and soul. And that's why that clarity, that vision that you're seeing is so muddy and confusing, because you're not listening to yourself. And it really is that simple sometimes. And sometimes you just have to have someone else say it in order for it to click in your brain. And so if I'm able to, convey lessons that I'm learning and help them click in your brain as well, then you know what? I am just happy and so thankful to be here. Another reason why I love her is, we'll do our normal talk therapy of it all. And then at the end of it, sometimes she'll be like, well, do you want to do some tarot readings, some tarot cards? When I do tarot readings for myself, it's so easy to be like, LOL, I'm going to ignore that. Like, actually, I'm going to pretend I didn't see that, or like, I'm going to pretend it's telling me something else. Like, let me just ignore my problems. It's so much easier that way. Like, of course. But when you're sitting across from this wise, intuitive woman with years under her belt, who is like connected to the universe, who has these beautiful cards, like when she starts pulling cards and reading them for you, you have no choice but to listen. It's like when your teacher's like, okay, sit down and shut up and pay attention. It's like, yes ma'am, legs crossed, I'm ready to receive. And so she does usually kind of like a 9-card spread of where you are, what's going on, where you're supposed to be, and how to traverse through it. And I won't go into the whole nitty-gritty of it all, but it was so funny. So funny. The one card I've never received ever in my years of receiving readings, of receiving just any sort of intuitive counseling, she's like, okay, flip a card, let's get into it. And bam, the death card. You guys. The room grew silent, and me and her had no choice but to just like giggle for a second. Like, bitch, are you fucking kidding me? The death card. And of course, the death card isn't so like as scary and serious as, what you might think it means. Sometimes it just means like this growing pain, this ending, this transformation, this something that feels almost like death. Like you're going to have to release, you're gonna have to let go, you're gonna have to like shed completely in order to receive these blessings that you are looking forward to. Like this death, this metaphysical death that is coming for you, you cannot escape. You cannot escape. It's going to happen. The more you run from it, the more maybe, you put it off, but eventually, bitch, it's going to catch up to you. So just accept it, grow through it, feel it, do the best you can. Listen to your pleasure, feed into your pleasure, lean into your pleasure. That's the best way to get through it. And through that, clarity will come. You will find yourself in a space where maybe those manifestations that you've been looking at or dreaming at are now your reality. So that was just like, are you kidding me? The death card, like, girl, yeah. What I've been going through does kind of feel like death, or like death is coming for me, and not like physically dying, not manifesting that, let's be real, but sometimes these transformations that happen in life feel like someone is shoving a dagger into your stomach, pulling it up and ripping you in half. and yet you survive. And it is just that with pleasure comes pain, and you have no choice of, experiencing negative sometimes. And all you can really do is do the best thing for you in order to make it through that. And eventually you will come out on the other side stronger, more in tune, more connected, and more beautiful than ever. So hopefully that was a good little recap of what I've been going through, what I've been experiencing, and maybe a little inspiration for you all as well. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Truly, like, you are my girls, my gays, my theys, my everybody's. Like, I'm so happy to have you here. And I think about how much I've grown from when this first started, and how much I am destined to grow as we continue forward. And I celebrate the woman I'm becoming, and I hope you are celebrating the person you are becoming as well. But if you're going through those growing pains, don't worry, babe. Like, we all go through them, no matter how sane some people might see. It's a part of life, and the faster you accept it, the easier shit gets. But with that being said, we have some crazy confessionals to get into. We have some fun topics to chat about, some sleepover vibe tings. But I want to smoke a bowl with you guys and get a little silly with it, because why the fuck not? So, cheers, baddies. Let's hit this. I'm hoping I don't go too nonverbal because, like I said, not a lot of sleep going on, and that makes for a little bit of a silly wild Hannah, I'll tell you what. But let's see what the girls are going through. Let's see what the vibes are. Someone said, drunk cigs, ex Jack Daniels buzz, no care in the world, pussy ate by my fave ex, life's great. You guys are fucking insane. You know what? That's giving Lana Del Rey summer. That is giving Lana Del Rey summer, and truly and honestly, so happy for you. Some exes are just good eaters, but I guarantee, like, there's other fabulous eaters out there. I promise you. I really do. And you know what makes a good eater? Someone that is just, like, intuitive and passionately driven. Passionately driven. Some eaters are very aggressive, and it's like, please get out of there. Like, why are you shoving your face as hard as you can into my puss? I'm actually pissed the fuck off. Lighter is usually better. I'll go ahead and give you that tip. But you know what? Drunk cig, ex Jack Daniels buzz, ex pussy 8, girl, you're living my dream. And thank you for living it for all of us. Do you ever hate being a good person? Like, sometimes I want to be messy and fuck things up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, girl, every single day. I think sometimes me being a good person is also me putting myself aside, and sometimes you just gotta be a fucking bitch. Sometimes the best thing for you and everybody else involved is to kind of be a bitch. Stand on business, say what's on your mind, be real, be raw, be honest, act accordingly, you know what I mean? And sometimes evil does do good. I feel like sometimes when I'm just like, I'll be the bigger person, I'll just be nice. Sometimes that's also me telling that person, whether I'm telling them or not, that their behavior is okay and what they're doing is okay and what they're saying is okay. Some people need to be told no. Some people need to be told to shut the fuck up. Some people need to be told, bitch, that's not okay. Have some decorum. Get your shit together. And also, I find sometimes when I'm too nice of a person, this also comes to like the people pleasing tendency. When I'm too nice of a person, I start to surround myself with people I just don't like. You know, I feel like sometimes being a little bit of a bitch means weeding out people you just don't align with. Weeding out people that you're like, actually, I hate the fucking way you act. Actually, I hate your attitude. Actually, you're kind of insufferable. And for my own mental health, and also just for like the reality of having positive relationships with people you actually enjoy and trust, like, I'm going to have to get the fuck up out of here. I'm going to get the fuck up out of here, and I'm actually going to have to go, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm never going to see you again. You know, sometimes it means having to be real and honest to your boss if they're bullying you in the workplace. That doesn't mean cuss them the fuck out, you know, like time and place, please, I'm begging. But sometimes it means looking them in the eyes and going, actually, the way you're speaking to me is not okay, and I will not stand for that, you know? Sometimes being too nice of a person is a downfall. And I mean, I feel like I was really trained at this. Anybody else, the girl in class that was just like super good and quiet, and so she was sat next to all of the fuck up kids? Yeah, that was me. And it's like, why the fuck am I now being subjected to their weird asses, their bad behaviors? And now I'm kind of subconsciously thinking, oh, like this is a normal person because I'm sitting next to them all the fucking time. And I think it kind of taught me to accept behavior and things that simply put weren't okay. Because, like, sure, I was supposed to rub off and be a good influence, but usually it became me going, oh, you know, I'm just going to let them be a fucking mess and I'm just going to sit my ass right here, you know. God, I literally just had a vision. I remember, and you know what? I was granted this vision at perfect time. I remember when I was in high school, I had just gotten to high school, freshman year, you know, nervous, couple friends from middle school, you know, but I was in different classes. The world became so much bigger now. Like, imagine going from middle school to high school. Like, the world grows exponentially, which is crazy because it really, in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't grow that much. It's just like maybe 1,000 extra people around you, but it feels like a brand new world and it feels so intimidating. And I remember that first year, of course, I signed up for art classes. Duh, hello, but freshman, I can only sign up for the one singular intro art class that they offer. And not to toot my own horn, but also like shout out to me, love her. Pretty fucking good at art. I will say it's just something that comes naturally. Some people just understand shape and value and color theory. I don't know what it is, but it really does click in my brain. And I'm gonna go ahead and stand on business about that because also, side note, my mom sent me this like throwback photo of me in 5th grade doing our like graduation, blah, 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 blah. And it literally is this cute ass photo of me. Oh my God. And it's favorite activity, drawing, career hopes, become an artist. Like, bitch, I'm doing it all for her, truly. And seeing that and then seeing where I am now, I'm like, I have to really lean into that and do everything she ever could possibly want. Okay, but literally, freshman year, awkward ass individual in art class, of course, doing well, so not much of a concern about me, but definitely a concern about like the junior pothead class clown fuck up kid. And I don't say that in a mean way because I also became that kid. It just happens. Sometimes it's just that way. And so, of course, since I was no worry at all, I was good at what I was doing, I was quiet, I was smart, I paid attention. Of course, my art instructor put me next to that kid. Absolutely. But I had also, like, you know, never been around a funny person before. Just kidding. Never been around this type of individual before. You know, they're in my ear trying to crack jokes all the time. Of course, eventually I'm going to lean into it all. Eventually I'm going to be laughing. Eventually I'm going to be cracking jokes back. Like, I want to get along with people. I don't want to upset the people around me. I don't want to look him in the eyes and go, you're fucking annoying. Shut up. I was a little bit nervous. Too nice of a person, you know? And it got to the point where, like, of course, duh, he's succeeding. He's distracting me. I'm fucking off too. I'm becoming a nuisance. Like, I'm picking up on those character traits because not only am I being subjected to them, but I'm not listening to how I actually feel, which is, oh my God, get this person away from me. And eventually, one day, my art instructor grabbed me and pulled me aside, and she was like, Hannah, I have to move you away from him now. Like, not me becoming the problem. Let's be real. I have to move you away from him, not because I became the problem, because he is going to interfere with you becoming a successful artist, like being successful in my class. Obviously, you are innately talented. Obviously, like, you have a knack, you know, and she showed up and she showed out for me. She got me into like AP art. She got me into all of these amazing different art programs. Like, she saw me and she showed up for me, and I love that about her, and shout out to her. I'm forever indebted. But I remember she was like, there are going to be people in your life who try and distract you, and you need to learn to speak up, to like understand your intuition, to take a step back, to focus on yourself, to whatever it is, so you continuously be successful. And she's like, bitch, I gotta move you away from him for your own good. And that was crazy, bitch. That should have been the one time I learned that lesson and never messed with any sort of archetype of that person again. But once again, I was cursed from a young age, and I feel like every single ex-boyfriend I've had has been that exact character type, which is like why I'm like, maybe I need something opposite. But it's like, yeah, sometimes you have to understand, like, no, this person's a distraction. No, this person should not behave this way around me. No, this person is not good for me. No, this person is, not it should not be in my circle. I don't want to be around them. I don't fuck with them. I don't like the way they're speaking to me. I don't like their attitude. I don't like them, period. And sometimes it means you got to be a bitch and either remove yourself, stand up for yourself, say what's on your mind. You can't let people walk all over you. You can't let people distract you from your success. And being too nice of a person does turn you into a people pleaser. And I do think it kind of like splits you from yourself. Don't be afraid to be a bitch. A bitch will get you what you want, will get you further than anything possible, will help you achieve your dreams, will help you like hold boundaries so you wait it out until you find the right partner for you, will help you stand up to that person who's talking down on you, that bully at work that's talking down on you, will help you, articulate your words and protect your spirit in that sort of way. And if that means you're being a bitch, then whatever, I don't care. I think we need more bitches in the world. Actually, I'm begging, because a real bitch is a good-hearted woman, individual, whoever, who just knows what they like, and doesn't settle for anything less, understands their value and stays true to that. And there's something, admirable about it. So maybe I'm going to enter my bitch era. Maybe I'm going to stand on business a little bit more. Maybe it needs to be done. Oh my God, the cotton mouth is insane. I'm so dehydrated. The one thing about traveling is like I never drink enough water. It's probably my biggest issue. I try and drink enough water, please, for the love of God. It's probably the number one thing you can do for yourself is drink enough water and get enough sleep. But, my organs are screaming at me. I am caught at a crossroads in my career. Do I follow my heart or my head? This is difficult. This is something that I'm kind of facing now. Not so much, have faced in the past pretty fucking hard. When I followed my heart, it would have said become an artist. Obviously, little 5th grade Hannah, career, dreams, become an artist. That's my heart. That's my spirit. That's my heart. That's my soul. My head was like, oh God, adulting, society, money, stability, making other people proud. Like, oh God, so many other influences, what my friends are doing, what other people around me are doing, what standards they hold themselves to. Like, and then I went into nursing, which, like, love the nurses out there. Yes, shout out. All my friends are nurses. Obviously, I went to nursing school. But I was like, ooh, following your head will break your heart, unfortunately. It will. The real answer is you got to find somewhere in the middle where you can appease your heart and also not make your head so anxious. I feel like I've found that here where I'm a very creative individual. Obviously, podcast, vlogs, I create online, I paint, I'm dipping my toes in other areas, but also it's like I didn't fully lean into that until I had a good financial set going. So sometimes in order to follow your heart, you gotta follow your head a little bit. You gotta trust in your head a little bit. You gotta get to a place where you are feeling, pretty good and healthy, where you can follow your heart without worry. But yeah, I think if you don't follow your heart, you're going to break your heart and you're not going to trust yourself. And I think following your heart will eventually lead to stability, although it might feel unstable at first. But if your heart wants it and it wants it that fucking bad, it'll get it. It really will. That's kind of the main thing about manifestation is if you are able to think about it and see it in a clear vision, you are able to go and achieve that thing 1,000,000%. Of course, like sitting here and rotting in bed is not going to do shit for you, babe. Hate to break it to you. But if you can envision it, if you can see it clearly in your mind, manifestation is seeing a picture so clearly in your mind of what you want and then taking the adequate steps towards it. Okay, if you can see it, you can create it. There is truth in that 1,000,000% about how bad you want it. That's the real question. How bad do you want it? How fast and forward will you go? If your heart wants it, you can get it if you go up and go after it. But I get it. Stability is important. I don't want you to put yourself at financial risk. I don't want you to put yourself in any risky situations. I want you to make sure that you are safe and protected physically. And sometimes that means having to sacrifice your heart for a little bit, follow your head in order to then get to your heart. One very great example for this is I see this all the time in the restaurant industry, where people will be in school going after their doctorate or going to law school and then serving like in their part-time hours in order to afford their apartment, afford their schooling, afford a meal, you know, even if it's just eating at work while you're there. But they have to kind of sacrifice their heart and follow their head, follow that rational side of stay in school, work hard, and also work a shitty part-time job in order to afford simply put living. Like sometimes you have to follow your head in order to then reach a place where you can go after your heart. And for me, a lot of my early 20s was, you know, I got to follow my head a little bit, but also keep that vision of my heart there. I can't neglect myself. I can't, you know, throw that side of myself away. I can't fully lean into my head or I'm going to be a shell of a person. I have to really do the work and keep that vision clear so then eventually I can get to that place. Whether that's going to college to achieve your degree, to study something, to learn a trade in order to get to a place where you can follow your heart. Maybe working a shitty part-time job or working your way up at a company, becoming a intern in order to get that next position that will get you closer to your heart. Doing the really hard work that it takes, or making endings, or moving places, or just doing the shitty stuff in order to get to your heart. Like, you have to follow your heart at the end of the day. If you're thinking the whole timeline in your life and the end of the day is you at 100 years old, you gotta follow your heart. But sometimes that means listening to your head here and there. You gotta have both. But baby, if your heart wants it, your heart's gonna get it. I promise you. Speaking of following your head to get to your heart, someone said, I have 3 semesters of undergrad left. Please hype me up. I'm so not feeling prepared for this year. No, it's crazy that the school year is starting. It really is. It's something that I don't think about as much now that I'm like older and I'm not in school and haven't been in a second, but it's crazy how fast the summer flies by in the school year. Like, damn, y'all are going back next week, but also, like, please understand how jealous I am. Grass is always greener, and I know you're like, bitch, I'm about to go through it. I'm about to be put through the ringer. Like, my head already hurts having to think about all the things I'm gonna do. How thankful and how grateful should you be there, to receiving knowledge, to, you know, grow, to find yourself, to be in a place of other like-minded people, hopefully, that are also growing and finding themselves, to have, like, you know, no responsibilities, if you think about it. Like, you're not worried about health insurance, hopefully. You're not worried about rent. You're not worried about, like, these big, like, bills and things that pile on as we get older, which you'll figure out, don't worry. You're just focused on school and doing the thing and finding your way in this world. And yes, it's difficult. School is difficult, but baby, C's get degrees. Of course, I want you to get A's. As your mother, I want you to get A's. I want you to do well. I want you to work hard. I want you to grow that brain. It is a muscle. You must work it out. But also, like, if all you can do is just get a C, pass, baby, that is enough. That is enough. That's the one thing my brother used to tell me all the time when I was in college is like, there are doctors I know that graduated with D's. Like, you are good. Just keep pushing, keep persevering. And sometimes that's all you gotta do. I will say, though, the best way to get through school and to get through college is, and I'm not even kidding, this is my number one tip, my number one hack. And you're like, yeah, bitch, no shit. It's you gotta go to class. No matter what it is, you got to go to class. I don't care if you're sitting in that class and not paying attention. Of course, like, show up, pay attention, take notes, go over flashcards afterwards. That's the best and fastest way to learn. But if all you can do is show up to class, that makes a world of a difference. The reason why my GPA fell so much my freshman year was because I stopped showing up to class. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I missed a class. Now I'm avoidant. Now I don't want to show up to next class because what if they know that I showed up to the one, not the one before, but I'm out of routine and I don't want to go. No one wants to go. No one wants to go. Get up and go. You need to be there. Okay. The one way, and I will say, nursing school taught me that I can do hard things because, bitch, that shit is hard. That shit's hard. That's the hardest I've ever had to push myself ever in any sort of like pursuit of knowledge. And it taught me that, like, if you plan ahead and act accordingly, your life will be much easier. Much easier. Say I skipped class. Okay, I skipped class. I laid around on my phone, did nothing, slept, whatever it is. Well, now I still got to take the same hour it took in class to go over all these slides, to go over it at the library maybe. And then since I didn't hear it explained from my professor, or I'm like half paying attention to a recorded lecture, I'm having to then redo notes that could have already been done to teach myself, you know, the curriculum when, bitch, you're paying them how much money a year to have them teach you, to then try and make flashcards, try and make friends in that class to study with. Maybe it's a group project. Oh, now I'm fucked. I don't know anybody in this class. Like, what the fuck do I do? No, like, don't make your life harder. All I had to do in nursing school to become successful, which is the obvious fucking answer, is show up to class every single time. Pay attention in class to the best of my ability. As I'm in class, take notes. Write that shit down. Not on your computer, baby. Not on the fucking computer. Notebook, pen, shit, colored pens. Colored pens, highlighters, whatever you're feeling, okay? Write that shit down. The notes don't have to make sense. Just write down whatever you can try and keep up with. After class, if you have the time, or at the end of the day, after all of your classes, rewrite your notes. Go back over them. Just look over them. Just try and, you know, remember what the fuck you just learned in class that you barely remember. And then before the test, before whatever, make those flashcards. And you're going to make those flashcards about 5 times. Physical flashcards, you're going to flip through them. You're going to go through them about 20 times. And that's all it takes. That'll get you at least a B. Maybe a C, probably an A. But at least a B. I promise you that. That's all you have to do. And yes, please, eat, drink water, get adequate sleep. That will give you the amount of energy that you need to do all of these things. But that's all it takes. Don't make your life harder than it has to be. You got this. You're in such a beautiful place in life right now. I'm so jealous of you. Although college was stressful and hard and, you know, whatever, all the things. It was such a fun time in my life. I met so many people that really changed my life. I was tasting adulthood for the first time ever, and I was so innocent to it, and it was just so fun and so beautiful and so wonderful. So if I had any piece of advice for anybody going into college, shit, even going into high school, okay, I feel like this also applies. Do your best, show up to class, be attentive, be there for yourself, take care of yourself, put yourself out there, explore new hobbies, explore new things. Fuck it, go to parties, be safe, go to parties, meet new friends, put yourself out there, open your heart to the world, do the best you can. That is really all I'm asking for you. And bitch, try and have some fun. Try and have a little bit of fun. You're gonna have to sacrifice fun a little bit to do well in school. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But to get to your heart, like I said, you must listen to your head a little bit. You gotta focus. You gotta lock in. Please don't take that shit for granted. Literally, as an adult, there's nothing I want more than to learn. I crave knowledge. I crave learning. I love an hour-long YouTube video talking about a new random idea or thing. Person, place, thing. I love a documentary. I want to go take like a 1 credit class at a community college. Like, I love learning new things. It's so fun. It's so wonderful. And you won't realize how much you're gonna miss it until it's gone. So yes, although challenging, difficult, sure, yes. But what isn't in this life? So at least your challenging and difficult is pre-set up for you and organized and PowerPointed. Bitch, I wish. So don't take for granted where you are now. Work hard, pay attention, show up for yourself. You got this, babe. Ooh, wait, this is a good question. What are 5 of your holy grail items, not beauty related? Ooh. Okay, I like the way you set this up because I feel like, I don't know, you ask an influencer, what are your 5 holy grail items? And they're like, my Rhode cereal milk lip balm in whipped butter in shea butter. Like, no. I'm not here to sell you products. Literally, like 8 things just popped into my mind, but they aren't things that you can even like buy, I guess, but they are items in my life that I think have been completely and utterly life-changing and truly and utterly like comforting. The first one that came to my mind, which is probably like my most prized possession, is my blankie. I know, how silly, but like, I don't know. It's the one thing that I've had the longest in my life. It's the one item I've kept the longest in my life. My little blankie kept me so comforted and so loved when I was younger. And like, it's something I had on me forever. The edges are made of silk. And literally I would rub the like silk, the satin, whatever it is, so much that it like disintegrated and had to be replaced. But I don't know. It's just like, if you don't have a blankie, I don't know if you get it. If you don't have a stuffy, I don't know if you get it. But like, for the girls who get it, I guarantee they get it. That's why Kenzie was on Love Island the entire season with her little like stuffed animal she grew up with. It's so nice to have just like a comforting item or something that, you know, has been with you since childhood. And so I think that's probably like my most prized possession. Like, if shit was to go up in flames right now, that's the first thing I'm grabbing. Now, the second thing I'm grabbing is kind of an item, kind of not, but definitely Danger. Danger is my best friend. He's my bestest boy. He's taught me so much about unconditional love and just like, he's always here for me. I got home from my trip and he just was immediately all over me, chirping. And this is like a grumpy ass little boy. He kind of hates people. He gets nervous around people. Like, he hides from them. He doesn't fuck with other people's vibes. But like, me and him, we understand each other at a psychological level, at a spiritual level. We are intertwined. My parents joke all the time, which low-key, not a joke. When he goes, like, we gotta plan a joint funeral because Hannah's gonna take herself out. And they are so right about that, unfortunately. Just kidding. I must persevere. But he's the one thing that I think brings me the most comfort. And I mean, if we really get down to it, he's the first thing I'm grabbing. If this place catches on fire, I'm getting the fuck up out of here. He's the first thing I think about when I wake up and the last thing I think about when I go to bed. And if you ever get the opportunity to love an animal, to have a little kitty cat in your life, a dog, a fish, a bird, any sort of creature, a horse, like, oh my goodness, how beautiful is it that we are able to make these like soul bond and love connections with other creatures that aren't human, you know? It really just shows that like love transforms and love can touch all things. And I think it's so beautiful and so wonderful. And I love him so much. And I'm fully indebted to him. Items, holy grail item. I don't know. If I really think about it, I'm just not a materialistic person. I would say now I'm kind of realizing how important it is. And I believe I was on this kick last week, and I know it seems random, but it's really transformed my life, is journaling. I think my holy grail item number 3 would be a really good journal. As a chronically anxious overthinker, but also avoidant, journaling has forced me to crawl into depths of my brain and understanding that like I have been avoiding for a long time. I've been trying to journal morning and night, but usually at least just once a day. And sometimes I'll sit down to journal and I'm like, I don't even have anything to talk about. So like, let me just start with what's going on in my day. By the end of that page or by the end of that journal session, whether it's 3 minutes or 50 minutes, I am like, it feels like I'm reaching my fist into my brain and physically pulling the thoughts out and physically working through whatever subconsciously is upsetting me or whatever is making me anxious, or, oh, this caused this and now I feel this way, or because it's forcing you to slow down your thoughts and really think and feel them out. Sometimes we get this idea, we get this whim, we get this OCD thought, whatever it is, pops into our head, and of course we can become hyper fixated on it, but you know, it lives there and continuously eats at our brain because we don't take the time to process, to think, to feel, and to release. And so having a physical place to really just go through it and release and learn more about myself and let go and appreciate and celebrate and be grateful for, having that journal has been so nice. It's a great way to slow down your days as well. If you feel like, bitch, time is blending into each other and just shit's going by so fast, and like, what even happened last week and where am I today? Journaling will force you to slow down and think through your days and think through your week and appreciate it or look back or whatever. And it has a way of slowing down time, but also making it eternal since it is written down somewhere. I have one rule when it comes to your journal. Don't think about someone else reading it. Don't even think about rereading it. Don't even think about flipping back to other pages. Just think about getting it off your chest and putting it somewhere. I swear by it. If you have someone in your life who reads your journal, that is sketchy and weird and fucked up. And if they're like, I read this in your journal and I'm now going to pit it against you, like, that's not someone you need in your life. That's a crazy breach of privacy. No one should be reading anybody else's journal unless it's meant to be shared. So please free yourself of the idea of, well, I have to write in this way, or my writing needs to be not so messy, or needs to be legible. No. The practice is to slow your thoughts down, to get them out of your head, to put them somewhere relatively safe, pretty safe, that you can now release and let go of, okay? And it has been just so amazing and so wonderful for my mental health, especially when it comes to grounding myself, because I've been, like I said, floating around, avoiding everything, and it's like, bitch, you got no choice. Death card, death card, death card. Accept the pain, grow through it. My holy grail item number 4. Okay, let's get spiritual. I'm going to say my tarot cards. My tarot cards and me have been through everything. I love tarot cards. Tarot cards are a fabulous way to, break the ice with somebody. Tarot cards are a fabulous way to check in with yourself. Tarot cards are my favorite way to connect with the universe. Tarot cards are just, I don't know. It's something that I've always had on me since I was like 14. And it's something that I will continuously have on me and fall back into and call back to constantly in my life. Literally death card, like, damn, okay, let me listen to the cards. But my particular deck, it's so funny. Whenever I meet with astrologers or tarot readers, every single tarot reader has a different deck. I've never met a tarot reader that's had the same deck. And specifically my psychic now, she has this deck that's like $600. She said she went to like a spiritual, not convention, but this like a community somewhere and was there for like a week, and they were working with tarot cards, and her mentor had a deck that was the same artist, and she was like, this is the most beautiful deck ever. Like, let me look on eBay and find it. $500, $600, $1,000. She's like, ooh, never gonna get that. One day in the thrift store, it's there, $3, every single card there. And it's like, it literally found her. It's so funny how things kind of find us sometimes. And my tarot deck, it's really cute. It's really beautiful. It's very fun. It's very fairy. It's very flirty. I feel like I've kind of outgrown it, and I'm very excited to see which tarot deck enters my life next. But my current tarot deck has been with me for 6 years now, and I actually saw it. Shout out Lawrence, Kansas. Hey, girls. I'll be out there for Slater, so see you then. But Lawrence, Kansas has this like metaphysical shop on their like main street called Third Planet. I think it's called Third Planet. I'm pretty sure. And they sell, you know, crystals, flowy pans, incense, bongs upstairs. That's where me and my girls used to go buy our pipes in high school with our fake IDs. We would go to the second story of Third Planet, and then my friend would like FaceTime me while talking to the cashier, and I'd be like texting her, and she'd buy a pipe for me. So sweet. Shout out to her. She's everything to me. But I remember like one day I was out there, I don't know, dilly-dallying around, and I saw this tarot deck, and I was like, that's so beautiful, it's so wonderful, but like, I don't know, whatever. And I just left, but I thought about it like almost every day for a year, and it was like the only one they had available, and I was like, okay, fuck it. It's a year later. I keep thinking about this tarot deck, like, let me go back and check and see if they have it, even though it's like, oh, they probably don't. Fuck it, let's go see. Bam, still exactly where it was before, covered in dust. I said, I'll take you home. Yeah, $25, but she gives me so much clarity. It's so nice to just like connect to myself intuitively. I love the art. As an artist, I love the art. And yeah, it's a great icebreaker. It's a great way to connect with people. So I would say, yeah, number 4, my tarot deck. So what do we have? My blankie from childhood, my kitty cat Danger, journal, tarot deck. 5, last one. Oh, there's a lot of pressure here. I'm racking my brain of like, well, what do I use? What do I like swear by? I would say clothes, but like all the clothes I have I've grown through it or gone through phases or whatever. I would say like, I don't know, makeup, but I don't really give a fuck about makeup that much, or even skincare. It's like, I like it, but it's not something that's like life-changing to me. I'm thinking about like if I was a video game character, what items would be like life-changing for me. And you know what? I'm kind of proud of myself for having to think this hard. Like, thank God I'm not that materialistic. I keep having this thought pop up though, so we're gonna go with this for 5, even though it's maybe not the craziest thing ever, but like my car. Oh my God, my car. I'm so thankful to have a car. And if you're like, bitch, your car, first of all, are you living in a city with public transit? And if you are, eternally jealous of you. Are you living in a walkable city? And if you are, eternally jealous of you. But my car gets me so many places. My car is so cozy right now, especially coming from somebody who like grew up with beater cars. When you're young, get a $2,000 car, get a $1,000 car, fuck it. Like, get one that runs and will continue running and is not going to cause you long-term problems. But like, get a cheap ass fucking car when you're young. When you're young, you're dumb. Maybe you're gonna crash it. Hopefully not on purpose. Maybe you're gonna accidentally crash it. It's gonna get bumps and scrapes. Like, you don't know how to take care of things really yet. You don't know how to appreciate things really yet. Get a cheap ass car. My other cars, bitch, that would not have been on the list of things I'm like holy grail thankful for. But my current car, first of all, dream car, had to go through some shitty shit to get it. Bitch, it was stolen out from under me. Like, shitty shit. Girl, come on. You know, I just finally paid it off. I'm like, woo, we did that. Like, it's the exact color I wanted, exact seats I wanted. It has a sunroof. Like, oh my God, my car is so beautiful. And is it anything crazy? Is it like the newest Mercedes? No, it's like a Mazda. Like, it's a very normal average person car. But going from beater cars to working my way up to finding my like favorite car ever in the color I wanted, paying that shit off, I'm so thankful for it. It gets me so many places. It takes me everywhere I want to go. If I'm having a hard day, I get in my car, I roll those windows down. Maybe I go buy a cigarette. I put on my favorite album and I just drive as far and as fast as I legally can, you know. When I was younger, I remember some of my favorite memories were me and my friends sneaking out of like the basement, like literally shoving our bodies through the basement window. So much so we like covered in bruises on our stomachs for having to army crawl out of like the cellar window to run off to go smoke weed in my friend's car and like drive down the back roads at 3 a.m. blasting Lana Del Rey. It's like, yes, that's like my favorite escapism mechanism. And yes, I was born and raised in Kansas, so sue me if that's the most interesting thing that was going on when I was in high school or I do that. That's cathartic. But like there really is nothing better than like a good car jam sesh, windows down, hot summer day, feeling good, breeze in the air. I'm so thankful to have a car now that is like feels luxurious for me because I was coming from cars that were like very cheap, very dirty, very gross. So thankful for that. I would say that's like my number 5 holy grail item. So honestly, that's a pretty good list. Those are things like I'm genuinely really grateful for and happy to have in my life. So let me know what your favorite holy grail item is down below. But for the last little half of this podcast, I, of course, want to get into some confessionals. I don't know if you guys have had crazy summers or if you have some shit you got to get off your chest. And so why not do it at the sleepover? There's nothing better than like being at your friend's house and just confessing the craziest fucking things ever to each other and then having to like blood swear to never tell anybody. Those are my favorite nights, and so I'm so excited to get to do that with you all today. But let's see what confessionals we have. Partner of 7.5 years hid an engagement ring from me for 1.5 years and then broke up with me? ? Yeah, that's super confusing. Well, I mean, like, you're supposed to hide an engagement ring, so I don't blame him on that front or them. But also it's like, okay, when you buy an engagement ring, usually you have like what? 3 to 6 months to make a plan to figure it out and to propose. So sometimes the thing is like when we grow up, we think we're supposed to take certain routes. Or who was telling me this? I think it's my dad. He's like, you know, you think you're supposed to do certain things. You think you're supposed to go a certain way. You think, you know, life's supposed to be graduate, job, work my way up, meet love of life, propose, engage, have kids. Like simple, easy, but sometimes it's not that simple and sometimes it's not that easy. I'm so sorry you got broken up with, but like if they had the engagement ring for 1.5 years and didn't act on it, then obviously they just were not in a place to show up and be there for you. And I want someone that chooses you without question, who's excited, who's like so excited to propose to you that literally they like can't help themselves. Like that's what you deserve. And so if they got caught up with the game of life and realized, damn, this isn't for me, at least they were brave enough to know what's best and take that step. That's the hardest step ever because they're gonna have to hurt you, and obviously they loved you. They bought an engagement ring. You don't buy an engagement ring for someone you don't love, but that doesn't mean it's supposed to last forever. I know, and it's so difficult and it's so hard, but that is just the truth of life. You're gonna be forced to have to take a untraditional route sometimes, you know, veer off the path of life that's set up for us. And you know what? This was them veering off and realizing, actually, this is not what I needed. And this was your blessing of the universe going, and I'm blocking you from somebody who cannot love you fully, who cannot show up and get excited for you. And you deserve somebody who's excited for you. So you know what? Cheers to new beginnings. Manifesting a beautiful, wonderful partner who will be so excited to propose to you that they literally can't even stop themselves. My bestie is moving cross country and I'm jealous. Not in a place to move right now though. Such a real feeling. That's something that just constantly pops up in life where you get jealous of your friends sometimes, but really it's just because you're like, I would love to do that. Jealousy, we've talked about this before. A lot of jealousy is you just seeing someone do something you want, and that's obviously that's what jealousy is, but if you sit in that resentment, you're going to ruin relationships, and also you're going to ruin yourself. So take that jealousy and turn that into passion. I love that you're like, you know what? I'm jealous my friend's moving there, but I'm just not there yet. But maybe one day you'll be able to move there. And God, it is my dream ever to live in the same city as my friends again. Like all of my friends all together at once. It'd be beautiful, but that's just not how it is sometimes. And that's not how it is in life most of the time. I'm going to be honest with you. Your friends are going to grow up. They're going to move away. It is what it is. I hate to break your heart. So if your friends are in the same city as you are, be annoying. Hang out with them as much as possible. Hit them up constantly. And if they did move to another state, that doesn't mean you have to lose the connection. Random FaceTime calls. How you doing? Miss you when you coming back home. And maybe, like I said, one day you'll be able to move there. I grew up next to these two sisters when I was younger, and one of them, of course, fashion diva icon queen, grew up and was like, I'm moving to New York City, chasing my dreams, living in the big city. That's what she was meant for. It's what she was built for. And you know what? She went and she did it. But then her sister followed, saw that, was like, damn, love that city, love visiting you. I'm going to follow. Now they're like two sisters living in the best city ever. And so, if one day you're prepared to move and you want to go and follow your friend to the city, do it. Okay, you won't regret it. But sometimes, we got to move at the own speed and own pace of our life. And to help avoid that resentment, you have to accept where you are, want growth, desire growth. But sometimes you just got to go, I'm not in that place, but maybe eventually I will be. And I'm manifesting that for you. My friend who I used to date keeps showing up in my dreams as I sleep next to my boyfriend. Girl, sometimes the psyche is evil for that. Like I said, I don't look into dreams. I don't like looking into dreams. I don't look into dreams. I really don't. I think they're a mess. They're not reality. And if I look into dreams a little bit too much, like I get a little scared, a little nervous. But sex dreams are weird. I consider sex dreams just like being able to live a different fantasy than what you would have in your life. Sometimes I have sex dreams and it's like, I'm hooking up with, I don't know, like a random coworker, a girl I met at the club, and it's like we're getting down and dirty and wild. And I wake up and I'm like, oh, okay. And it's like, you know what? But I got to experience that in my dream. And how fun is that? Now back to reality. Hooked up with one guy after my 4-year relationship ended. New guy's dick so small. Oh, it happens to the best of us. All you can really do is do what you can, and if you don't want to get the fuck up out of there. That's really all that's all you can do. Like I said, does size matter? Depends on what you're working with. Okay? It does matter, big or small. I feel like when you say size matters, people only think small dicks. Actually, it does matter, big or small, because if it's massive, huge, the size of my forearm, baby, no one wants that. No one wants that. I'm scared. But if it's too small, it's like, okay, that ain't gonna work for me. But that too small could be perfect size for someone else, and that too big might be the right fit for someone else as well. So get back out there, girl. Go find the right fit for you, okay? It's okay. My husband and my best friend's husband dared her and I to kiss on a camping trip. Kinda loved it. No, because how did that not turn into a 4-way? And if it does, girl, have fun. Have fun. This is about to be Sister Wives, where you're like, husband swapping, wife swapping, whatever it is. Either way, having sex next to each other. Isn't that what a 4-way is? Never been in one. Not really in the mood to do so. But girl, this could be a fun time for you. And if you're not into it, you're not into it. But like, it sounds like you were into it. And it sounds like they were into it. Okay. Please, I'm surprised you guys were not fucking in the same tent. I live with 2 boys that I've kind of done things with as a girl, kind of bounced back and forth, and now I'm with the one I did things with first, and now I'm not interested either, but they both have told me they loved me. Girl, if you don't challenge that shit and get on with it, I'm going to be disappointed. But also, it's like, sometimes in the competition of things, when it comes to love, if you force people to compete, if you're competing, if they're competing, when there's that back and forth and push and pull, like, it gets a little more intense than you like. And then if you're gonna avoid it, you can be like, oh, this kind of sucks. Like, actually, I'm over this. Like, actually, you like me too much and I'm kind of over it a little bit. Or You could have a lot of fun, a lot of very good, honest fun with both of them. Maybe I'm making it messier than it really is. Hooked up with a guy in a porta potty at a music festival? No, babe. We can't be doing that. I love you down. We cannot be doing that. We cannot. I need puss safety 101. Okay, like you cannot be opening your puss to the air of a dirty place. Like, porta potty bathrooms are off limits, but also I get it. Sometimes you just gotta get it on. Sometimes you just gotta get weird and wild and freaky with it, and that's the best place possible. But genuinely, it's like, I would have rather you gone around a tree or even behind the porta potty than do it inside. No judgment. You are appeased of your sins. I've probably done it in weird, dirty places. Have I? Let me think. Let me go through the files. Not a porta potty, but you know what? When I was wild and crazy and free, it could have been. It could have been. I was a server at a casino and stole at least $100 per night by not ringing things in for 2 years. Okay, I don't know if people know about this server trick, and I don't mean to put you on don't do this very illegal, but essentially, like, the hack of what I've seen, not a hack, literally just actually just like stealing money. That's not a hack, I fear. What I've seen past coworkers do that would get them in trouble / fired / fined in a big way is essentially if someone pays in cash, you comp the bill or remove the bill of what they paid in cash, and then you pocket all that cash. Or you only charge them for a soda and pocket all the cash without them knowing. And obviously without your management knowing. You have to they would like steal the manager's passcode and they would comp a bunch of shit and then pocket all the cash and then quit before anybody found out. That was a big thing that happens in the restaurant industry. I also had a coworker who straight up was like pissed off at my manager and then was also like a part-time manager. So he had the codes to the safe and then opened the safe and stole all the money in it and then never came back. And they never prosecuted him. I'm like, we all know who it was. We all know who it was. $1,200 missing plus an extra 100 out of your personal purse with the one person you have beef with in this building who also happened to quit the next day. Let's be fucking honest. But I don't think there was any footage. So it's like, what are you going to do? Don't steal. Don't commit felonies. Don't do that. Don't do that. But you know, I definitely have seen it happen a lot. I keyed my ex-best friend's car after he smashed off my side view mirror 3 different times. Smash off your side view mirror 3 different times? Oh, hell nah. When they say eye for an eye, I fear keying is not enough, baby. Oh, also, like, great proof of friendship is if they respect your things. If your friend has no respect of your things, they don't have respect for you, okay? Even so far as like if I am in another friend's car, if I'm drinking a soda, if I'm having a snack, I'm not leaving crumblies around. I'm making sure I'm picking up my trash and throwing it away, taking it out of their car and putting it in the trash can at the very fucking least. Like, I don't want to disrespect people, so I don't disrespect their things. And if someone is disrespecting your things, but you're like, but they're nice to me, so I'm confused, that's their way of disrespecting you, like, in a very sly, weird way. So you know what? Key the fuck out of that car, girl. When I use a strap on, I low-key start wishing I had a dick. Okay, fair. Even as someone who's never used a strap on, I do kind of wish sometimes I had a dick. You ever be having sex and you're like, just like, let's switch roles. I can do it way better than you. Like, actually, let me take control. Bitch, you're not doing what needs to be done. Like, give me the dick. Let's swap bodies. Let's Freaky Friday this shit. Like, actually, sometimes, like, I think everybody kind of wishes that. Do men wish this? I've never asked a man, but I'm happy to ask a man. And if you're a man listening, let me know down below if you're brave enough. But like, do men ever go like, what if I had a pair of just massive fat ass titties? Like, I wish I had a pair of those. Like, you know, like, And not in like a gender dysphoric way where it's like actually, maybe you're feeling a little bit of like body dysmorphia, like just in like a very casual sense. Because like, no, I don't actually wish I had a penis, but sometimes I do think about like what it would be to have a penis and balls slapping around. Just a thought. I've had a crush on someone at work for 3 years and they have a girlfriend. Me as fuck. But like, I am the work crush. Like, it's like, actually, you want what you can't have sometimes. And the thing is, if you were to actually get to know this person when they broke up with their partner, it's like the chances of you actually working out are like 50-50, but also it's like maybe the girlfriend, maybe they break up eventually and you can play the long game. Maybe you can play the long game and just wait it out. But also don't let your work crush stop you from your husband, Speaking of, this is so funny. My work crush is finally single. I've been waiting for months and ready to pounce. Girl, get on that. Get on that. Take your opportunity now. I know a lot of people who wait and plot. This is strange, but it's real. It happens. Who wait and they plot. And they continue on with their lives, dating, not dating, hooking up, this, that. They know it's not an option, so they don't do it. But it's like I got a bookmark saved there. And if I ever open up this chapter book again, I'm going to pick up where I left off, And so if you find yourself having the opportunity, you better work. You better hustle. Part of dating, which is so funny, is like, there's a game to dating. There's a game to like the beginning stages of dating that is undeniable. You have to kind of play the game a little bit. You got to play the cat and mouse chase game. Now, that doesn't mean become avoidant and completely stop responding because they are being nice to you. They're doing good things for you. They are expressing emotionally that they care about you. So you become avoidant and you run away. That's not cat and mouse. That's toxic. It's got to be kind of like I'm still protecting my peace. I'm kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm still talking. We're, the normal game of dating. Don't be disrespectful. Don't be shitty. But now's the time to play the game, girl. And you better play it the best you ever have. Slept with a Hell's Angel. What is a Hell's Angel? Is that a motorcycle gang? Outlaw Motorcycle Club, girl. And I know that dick was good. I know it was good. The thing about, this is the terrible, terrible truth of life. The thing about like really good dick sometimes is it's attached to like a really bad person. Really bad person, unfortunately. And you cannot base a relationship off of a dick that is not enough to stand on. Okay. Like literally. Like, please, you have to base the relationship off the person, and like you can work with the dick. You can work with what you got. It's gotta be good. It's gotta work well with you. Can't be horrible and awful. You gotta have best of both worlds, but like you can't just be with someone for the dick, unless it's like a night, then whatever, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, the truth of it all is that sometimes the dick is attached to like you're like a person I can't continue seeing, unfortunately. But I know that shit was good. I know it was good, girl. Oh my god, this is so funny. Speaking of, once again, thought something was wrong with me because my ex and I had terrible sex. Turns out it was definitely just him. Yeah. I think chemistry is so important. Like, sex is important. Unless it's something that's not important to you. Unless you're like, actually, I'm asexual. That's the last thing I care about. Then valid, absolutely. But for all of us regular, schmegular, sexual people, it's like the sex is important. You have to like want to have sex with your partner. The sex is important. It's gonna take some work. You're working with another person. Like, you gotta know what turns them on, know what feels good, work with their schedule, work with your schedule. You gotta make it work. You gotta want it, but like it's gotta be there. The chemistry's gotta be there. Sexual chemistry's gotta be there. And I've definitely been with people that it's like, why don't I never want to have sex? And it's like, oh, because maybe it's not even because the sex is bad, but it's like they're not caring for me. They're not showing up for me emotionally. They're not showing up for me physically. They're not supporting me. I don't feel supported. I don't feel loved. I don't feel that emotional connection. And thus, my sexual connection is not there as well. So, yeah, sex is important. Sex is important. When I'm feeling emotionally connected, spiritually satisfied, and physically present with my partner, my horny levels skyrocket. Absolutely skyrocket. So, you know what? Glad you found someone you like to have sex with. Slept with my ex 8 times in one day. Somebody put me in a cage, please, girl. It's not even the fact that it was 8 times, it's the fact that it was 8 times with your ex. Like, damn. You took that opportunity. You said, we're hanging out, we're having sex, let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. I've been there, like, at my, like, craziest, wildest. I think it was, like, upwards of 12 times in one day. So much so that I'm talking pussy bone bruised, blue and black. I'm FaceTiming my friend, my nursing friend, Spread Eagle, asking, is this normal? And she's like, girl, you just have to stop having sex. And it's like, yeah. Unfortunately, so right, sitting on a bag of peas, melting frozen peas with my puss. Like, and once again, like I said, sex is important. Like, when I'm horny, I'm horny. Like, when I want to get it, I want to get it on. So I don't even blame you for the 8 times. Been there, done that many a times. Girl, with your ex, you either are getting back together or you gotta run as fast as you fucking possibly can. Like, chastity belt yourself, basically. I did Molly twice this month and fried my brain so deeply with drugs. Well, good news is if you stop doing the Molly, your brain will go back to normal. Bad news is Molly will rot your brain. And who better to speak on this than me? Because, babe, and I hate to say this, but like in my peak Molly days, it was an every weekend thing. And I was a shell of an individual. I was a drug addict. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. Bitch, I was a drug addict. I was an addict in that time. And it was like addict behavior too. Like, I miss my party days because of the freedom, but I don't miss the waking up, having no idea where I am, no idea what the fuck I did last night, like no memory, having a lot of fun, but also like a lot of darkness. Like, the drug is usually not worth it if I'm being honest, especially if it's synthetic in that sort of way, the hangover, whatever, but don't beat yourself up too much. You learned your lesson, you realize, you know, what it is, how it makes you feel. And for me personally, me and Molly can't hang out anymore. I know there's nothing more I want than to hang out with Molly, but me and Molly can't hang out anymore. It's for my own betterment. The same way my art teacher physically had to remove me from sitting next to the class clown, the burnout stoner, horrible, awful person. For my own good, for my own success, I also have to do that for myself. Me and Molly can't hang out. And it was because I had no control. I had no control over myself. No control, bad decisions. A lot of fun. Until it was not fun very fucking fast. But good news is, as a, like, let's call a spade a spade, previous drug addict, previous drug addict, you can go back to normal. A little hard work, little self-control. You can go back to normal. Your brain will return back to normal. You need enough sleep. You need patience. You need kindness. I remember in my peak Molly days, it would be like me in art school having rolled my balls off the night before. I have a final due. I'm like weaving broken mirror pieces into a mask. Like, shit they had me doing in art school, sobbing. My fingers are bleeding. I'm trying to work with broken mirror shreds, and I'm like sobbing in the art studio. My professor's like, bitch, are you okay? It's like, don't ever say I didn't do anything for my art. I should be home asleep right now. It's like, actually, you should just not be doing drugs. That's the real problem. But it is what it is. Sometimes I fantasize about sleeping with men, even though I'm most definitely a lesbian. That's okay. Sometimes, sometimes the brain just loves a good fantasy, and I don't blame you. Like I said, like, sometimes it's nice kind of having those weird sex dreams and you wake up and you're like, that was kind of fun. I'll never do it, but like, that was fun to think about, fun to kind of imagine, fantasize about, and then move on from. I think it's important and healthy for humans to have fantasies. I think it's important and healthy for you to be a little naughty, for you to be a little like, but what if? But like, let me think about this thing. Even though in reality, Not gonna do it, not interested, not happening. I don't want a penis near me. You know, you're a lesbian, you're like, I know who I am, I know what I want, not interested. But sometimes it's nice to have a little fantasy, and I don't blame you. It's human to have fantasies. It's human to have human urges. It's human to have human fantasies. It's human for the brain to kind of like get a little crazy with it in normal, healthy ways. In normal, healthy ways, like you said, you're like, pretty sure I'm a lesbian, but sometimes it's fun to think about it. Okay, cool. Period. Love it. I hope you have a fun time thinking about it. And if you want to explore it one day, you know, don't shut all doors, don't shut all options. But if you're pretty solid in how you feel, you know who you are, you know what you want, but you can't blame a girl for a good fantasy. I broke up with a guy because he liked me too much and he was balding, period. Hashtag avoidant as fuck. Avoidant as fuck, sure, maybe, possibly, but also maybe you just didn't fucking like him. Maybe you just didn't fucking like him. And maybe it had nothing to do with how much he liked you. And maybe it had nothing to do with the balding. Maybe it had everything to do with how enthralled he was with you and the balding. Whatever it was, you knew you didn't like it. You left the situation. You didn't lead him on. That's the one thing about avoidant people is like real avoidants see what's good for them, know it's good, and ruin the fuck out of it. Okay? Run away from it. Fake avoidance, which I'm kind of a fake avoidant, it more so is like, I'm avoidant. It's like, actually, you just really fucking hate that thing and don't want to do it. And so you're not going to do it. You can't help yourself but not engage with this person, you know? And I remember, like, when I used to date, it was like, you know, you meet guys who are, like, infatuated with you. And it's like, oh my God, like it can't be a me show. I have to also be infatuated with you too. Like it's nice to be wanted and desired, but also like I want to want and desire somebody early in the dating process. And like if you're not feeling that way, then that's okay. That just means maybe you shouldn't pursue it. Maybe it's not meant for you. You got to have that mutual beneficial chemistry. You know, of course your partner needs to like you and want you. Duh, hello. But you also got to like and want your partner. And maybe you just didn't fucking like this person, and that's okay. Don't ghost them, but you know, just be like, hey babe, this ain't working, gots to go. I was the toxic man and couldn't get out of the cycle, so I just cheated on him a lot. You know what? How toxic was it? I know a lot of women who have done this. I know a lot of women who have done this, where it's like, I don't know how to leave, so I have to cheat. And this is why I say don't stay with cheaters, because usually people are cheating in order to leave. Usually people are cheating because they don't like where they are and they want to pretend they're somewhere else for a second, and you don't deserve that as a partner. But also it's like, please don't cheat, please just leave. I'm gonna have to say what's on our mind. I'm not gonna crucify you, baby. What did RuPaul say? Girlykins, get off the cross, we need that wood. Like, no one's here to crucify you, no one's here to talk down on you. Of course, please do not cheat, but like I said, how toxic was it, and how bad did you need to go? And I know a lot of women. I know this girl who, this is fucking crazy. I have to talk about it. She was with this guy and she just physically couldn't leave. She didn't know how to leave. And she got caught up with her manager at work, sleeping with him as a way to kind of like escape her life or maybe get back at him, even though they were still together. And eventually it was like, okay, I have to come clean. And it was crazy because I was like, there's no way she would do that. Like, damn, that's really lowering yourself. Like, there's no way she would do that. And she was fully doing it. And everybody around us was clocking it. I was just not clocking it because I was like, no, I just don't think she would do that. And then she's like, okay, I got to come clean to the boyfriend that I'm cheating on him with my manager. And she eventually told him, and luckily told him, immediately packed her shit, got the fuck out. But the ex-boyfriend went on a rampage, a psychotic break rampage, showed up to the work and punched this man in the face, like assaulted him, knocked him the fuck out in front of everybody, 6:30 p.m. in front of everybody, and then went on the run. Crazy. Keep in mind, that's not even the worst part. He didn't know, the ex-boyfriend didn't know she had 2 male coworkers. So he walked in that bitch, saw the first man that was wearing a uniform, decked him in the face. It was the wrong one. How's that for some tea? Absolutely psycho bonkers. So to avoid that fucking drama in your life, because you never know how people are going to react, treat people well so you don't receive weird, freaked out karma. You never know how people are going to react. Baby, just leave. Save yourself the drama, baby. Just leave. And then sleep with your manager. Just kidding. Please don't do that. Just kidding. Just kidding. Isn't that crazy? I think about that all the time. It's like so fucking wild. Oh, anyways, what a beautiful little smoke sesh sleepover episode. I had so much fun with you guys today, and thank you for being here. I just love having a little key with you guys, and I feel like this feels like a journal to me sometimes, where through each other we can kind of learn more about ourselves, and I think that's so wonderful and so beautiful. But also, like, I love just being real about life. Like it says in the beginning, the good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing, the mistakes we make, the issues we have, how hard life can get, how fun life can get, how silly life can get, the weird little intimacies of being human. I love breaking the taboo and just speaking on it and letting you guys know it's okay to speak on it too, or just to simply put, be human. But with that being said, I'm gonna send you off with one more bong rip. OG smoke sesh days. Let's get toasted. Cheers. But with that being said, if you want to see my little room makeover video, room makeover vlog, watch that on YouTube at Hannah Marlene 444. If you want to see more from me, extra episodes every single week. I just uploaded the August tarot reading. There's a new moon eclipse coming up. I just did our eclipse kind of write up. I upload weekly inspo straight from my Pinterest, my Tumblr, whatever you're curious about. If you want to know a little bit more about me and more deep in the smoke sesh community, join the patreon.com/smokeseshshotty. Would love to have you there. And if you want to submit your questions every single week, follow me on Instagram at Hannah Marlene. I just uploaded a new recipe too. I've been getting back into the swing of things. I made peach cobbler nachos, peaches and cream nachos, where I made like a churro chip situation, caramelized peaches, and then topped it with ice cream. It's absolutely fabulous. But do something nice for yourself today. Be patient, be kind to yourself this eclipse season. We'll get more into everything else that comes up with that next week. But with that being said, stay sane, stay sexy, and I'll see you all so soon. Mwah.